The town of Rupert, like many small Vermont towns, has seen its fortunes ebb and flow over the years. At one time, agriculture and slate mining underpinned the local economy and provided jobs, but in more recent years, it's watched as the population numbers fail to grow and local businesses, like the Sheldon General Store, close their doors. But beginning in 2015, there's been a bit of a turnaround underway, as a small group of local residents, working together with the town's select board, began a revitalization effort that's drawn some attention. A town green has been set up next to the former Sheldon store, which has been repurposed into a community center. More improvements for sidewalks and a small shared wastewater system are planned for Rupert. And now, the Vermont Planners Association, a statewide organization of town planners, has recognized the town of Rupert for recent revitalization efforts undertaken by local residents and citizen leaders to restore and elevate Rupert Village as the heart of community life in this rural town. Nominated by the Bennington County Regional Commission and with support from the Preservation Trust of Vermont, the Vermont Land Trust, and the Vermont Agency of Commerce and Community Development, the project was held up as an example of successful implementation of the town's vision for a vital, walkable, mixed-use area centered on a historic village. Kat Bryars, Senior Planner and Community Planning Program Manager with the BCRC, explained what led to the award.
It's just a great example of a smaller, more rural community coming together around village scale planning and investing in a village center. There's so many small and rural towns across Vermont that have seen, over the span of a number of years, the population aging, sometimes, less and less young people and families moving to town. And a lot of them are left with that, seeing it as an intractable problem that, how do you reverse that trend? And Rupert just, through lifting themselves up really and investing in themselves has taken a bunch of actions and made the community more vital through their village center. And you can just look through some of the materials and photos that they have from the activities, workshops, that they've organized at their new community center, that they're really bridging, generational gaps, celebrating, all the residents of the community, creating programming that's appealing to everyone, and really provides a model for how those smaller and more rural communities can invest in themselves and, potentially reverse some of those long trends that are pretty common in our rural areas.
Jane Davies and Deb Fuller are two local residents who are part of the revitalization efforts.
I think that for me, it was having lived in Rupert for a number of years and seeing that gradually there were less and less places to meet up with our neighbors and be able to meet up with our neighbors in a casual situation. 2018, we formed Rupert Village Trust, and that was formed after or as part of having various community meetings around the area at the library and the town hall and various spots around Rupert to talk to people, talk to residents and get their input and feedback. And is this something that you think would be good, or what are your ideas? And just to, talk to people about it. So we got positive feedback. And so that's when we formed Rupert Village Trust, was as part of this. We formed it before we acquired the building. So, and I can't say enough again about Preservation Trust of Vermont. I mean, they're really the ones who showed us that this is a model that a nonprofit owning the building and providing a space for a small business can provide continuity in a community. That they can, that way, businesses rise and fail for lots of different reasons. But if a local nonprofit owns the building, we can provide some stability within the community to have that space there, that if we have an operator that's there for hopefully many years and is very happy and it works out great, if something changes in that business, we can hopefully evolve into another business that can be there. And it provides the continuity within the community of owning the building by the nonprofit.
Yeah, I did start because I got involved with the Town Green Project, which is a town project. So it was the select board that proposed that, and I just sort of found myself interested and got on that committee. And then I think that came first, and then we noticed the Sheldon store was an opportunity. And I think one thing was we had a fairly contentious school vote over the school merger imposed by Act 46, and that really showed me a divide in the town that I hadn't really been aware of. And I know Deb and I kind of got to know each other a little bit around that. We would see each other in the post office once in a while, or at the farmers market in Dorset, and we would talk about it. And then also, I live right in the village, and I was noticing from where I live, I could see about half a dozen houses that were on the market that were not selling. And it just seemed like Rupert can just die out now because nobody wants to live here. Nobody wants to move here, or we can see if we can do something about it. And I think the school vote helped put Rupert in the running for places to live in the area. And then, there was this building that was about to crumble, and it's right next to the town green. And I didn't feel like putting a lot of effort into the town green if there was going to be this crumbling building. I thought we've got to do someone ought to do something. Actually, it was, a year or so before that, I started sort of sending it out to people. Hey, here's this real estate listing. Want to move to Rupert and fix up an old building and run a cafe or something? So I had started putting out feelers, and we kind of had to do that. So we did, and I think our first introduction to how you do that was Paul Brune at Preservation Trust. And the whole organization of Preservation Trust has been just immensely helpful. And ACCD, Richard Amore, he had helped us he said the first thing you do when you want to save your town is get village center designation. So we got village center designation in the fall of 2017. And it was after that, okay, we got the town green, we got this village center designation, we're going to do something with the store. And so Deb and I seem to be kind of the catalyst for that, although many other people are involved.
And Rupert, like many other Vermont towns, is starting to see an influx of new residents motivated by an alternative to urban life in the year of COVID and the attractions of a rural lifestyle. There's clearly another chapter to the story of Rupert waiting to be written. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.